Let's ride, hop in the whip and just drive. Turn the music way up and ride. Hair down, looking good, she fly. If your hands down, throw 'em up high.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? My name is Grace with Embrace the Grace. And this is my night for the JVJ Network. And thank y'all for coming in. I really appreciate it. As you know, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Okay? I'm not really sure if my co-host JVJ is here, but I can always check. Jay, you here?
You know I'm here, girl.
Hey, how you doing, Jay? Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
What's up, y'all, man? It's your boy, Let's Talk with JVJ. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight. For everybody that is going to come in later, man, appreciate that. Man, y'all make sure y'all do hit that like, y'all hit that subscribe. And my girl Grace got some hot and spicy-ish for y'all tonight. Let's get it, girl.
Yeah, it's going to be a doozy tonight, y'all, because I am very, very passionate about this. And I'm hoping that I can get you guys to embrace the concept that I'm trying to relay on to you guys today. So if anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Grace from Embrace the Grace. So if you like what you're here tonight, definitely go over there and like, subscribe, share, and comment. And of course, also the JVJ Network. What is the JVJ Network? It's a network that my boy Jay from Let's Talk JVJ has put together for up-and-coming podcasts to get together and do a network. So, again, thank you for coming in Monday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern time on my nights. So, what is Embrace the Grace? For those of you who don't know me, or this is the first time you guys watching me, again, welcome. But this is a place where we embrace our truth and we don't run away from it. And it's a place where we have the uncomfortable conversations. They're going to make you think, rationalize, get mad, but that's what it's supposed to. It's supposed to stir emotions and it's supposed to bring dialogue and conversation. So anyway, the topics are supposed to enlighten you, evolve you, elevate you, and of course embrace you. So with that being said, tonight's topic, I know everybody has heard about this, has seen it trending everywhere. If you haven't, then I guess you've been living under a rock. So that's what I'm here for, to unlift that rock for you. But anyway, tonight we're talking about the war that's being brought upon our men. And I'm not, of course, especially our Black men, but just men in general. And anybody that knows me or knows on this side, we're advocates for men. We're advocates for equality when it comes to men issues. And I agree with a lot of the stuff. Yes, I'm a woman, but at the same time, they're men. But anyway, with that being said, we're talking about tonight, Jay, about the bad behavior that women continue to display and expect or know that they're not going to have any consequences or repercussions brought upon them because they walk around here so self-entitled and because they're a woman. And you know what? Our men are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. They've been silent for too long. They've been accepting the bullshit. But there's a revolution going on, and eyes are being opened. But with that being said, I'm bringing this to light so you guys can embrace the fact that we need to keep our hands to ourselves, whether it's male or female, period. And it's not fair to think that it's okay to put your hands on a person, a man, let alone a person, and think that it's okay and nothing's going to happen to you and you're going to be protected because you're a woman. Nah, it's not supposed to work that way. Anyway, Jay, what do you have to say on it?
I believe everybody should keep their hands to themselves. Men towards women, women towards men, and vice versa for your same sex. Like we need to get to the point where we learn how to have good conflict resolution skills and talk to each other. Too many people are out here emotional, doing whatever the hell they want to do, but that's all
A
I
lot of
got.
people are socially awkward. They don't have social skills, Jay.
Yeah, take that phone away. I used to
Right?
say something back in the day, man. I used to say it back in the day, and people used to look at me like I was crazy. I was like,
People might even know how to spell.
hey, it's amazing that people don't know how to spell and they got a smartphone. But it blows my mind. I said it years ago, man. I'm like, technology is going to be the end of all human beings. Because the more technology we get, the dumber we get, and the more lazy we get.
And we don't use our brain. And I hope people know this, that the brain is a muscle. And if you don't use it, you lose it. But with that being said, let me read some comments. And I got the videotape of the situation that took place. And we're going to talk about it because anybody knows me that's been here, I don't just get up here and talk my shit. I come with informative information, statistics, data, all of it. All of it. So let me just go ahead and start by reading our first comments. Let's go. My girl Almond, thank you for coming to the show. And she said, this gonna be a good one. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You see me smiling. It's gonna stir up. It's gonna stir up some things, but that's what it's supposed to do. And then House of House, thank you for coming. Yo, what's up, Grace? That fat lady looked like she was mad someone eat her breakfast burger. Here we go. And then, look at Sir Philip. Embrace the grace. Hey, dear. Thank you for coming on time. Look at
Girl,
you.
You gotta click on that shit, Grace. You click on it. You gotta do. I don't see it happening on my side. Y'all see it happening? There you go. There we go.
And then Philip said, embrace the grace. Hey, thank you for coming. Amin said, hi, Philip. How are you? So my group is doing their hellos and all that good stuff. Amin said, awesome. Can you see it? Awesome. There it is.
There you go.
There it is. And then Philip came back and said, let's talk with JBJ shipmate. Okay, so we're caught up. We're caught up. And with that being said, what do you think I should do? Should I show the video first or should I get into my little informations? I
will say you should click on that comment again to make it disappear and then do whatever the hell you want to do after that. I'm fucking with her tonight, y'all. I'm fucking with her tonight.
I'll tell you, boy.
I wasn't here for the most of the last one, so I got to get my shit in now.
Okay, so let's watch the video first. Let's get y'all engaged first with the video. So let's do that first. Give me a minute, guys. Let me go ahead and make that happen. So we go here. We go here.
Spirit Airlines says it suspended an employee who works at DFW Airport, and police are now investigating after an argument with a traveler got out of control.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it. Oh no, Grace, no, full screen that shit again. Make it full screen again.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Oh,
I'm still
Grace, what the hell did you do?
I took it off. Hold on.
I don't know. All you had to do. I ain't gonna hold you. Keep going. I'll talk to you later on it. But go ahead. Go through your steps.
Yeah, I'm going through my steps. Got to share it. And okay, here we are. We're back. And we're playing. Can you hear it?
It ain't playing yet. It ain't playing yet. Hit play. There you go.
Okay, let me take it. But I can't hear the video.
How you can't hear it?
And says it's
you need headphones, girl.
DFW Airport, and police are now investigating.
That's okay. I know the video by heart, so it's
got
all
out
good.
of control.
I need you guys.
Airport police were not on the scene.
I need y'all to see
happening.
this.
They took a report
Because you know what? Everybody clicked this video.
Plus witnesses who recorded the video.
Hold on, let me
This
stop
apparently
it.
started over a problem with seating.
Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Mallory Sofaste.
Hold on, guys. So I'm just going to tell you the story. Girl got on the plane. Lady got on the plane. There were no seats left for her. So she came outside already irate and pissed. And she approached the desk. And the guy told her, wait in line, wait your turn till... Anyway, she decided not to. She cut people. And that's... You catch when the supervisor went out of the desk to tell the lady to calm down. So already she was causing ruckus, yelling, whoa, 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 whoa. And then when you see that, it's when she's in his face, she'll touch him. And then once she touches him, she'll say, get out of my face. Get out of my face. You know, I saw a lot of different YouTubers and other people say, oh no, she should have stepped away when she said, get out of my face. That could have been. And before we go any further, guys, I want to say that I do not condone violence. Okay? I don't. However, we'll just leave it at that. So she'll keep pushing and poking him and then say, get out of my face. And she'll do it again. And he kept telling her, stop touching me. Why couldn't we turn around and tell the woman, back up, get out of that man's face? No, but this is where feminism is at its best and equal opportunity. You want to go toe to toe with a man. You want to act like a man. You want to stand on 10 toes like a man. But now it becomes a problem when you get treated accordingly like a man. Jay, you gotta say something about that for me.
Well, she was out of pocket. Like, you remember I talked about this one. She was out of pocket. Now there are a lot of different variables that could have came into play of how this situation could have went down. Like, he could have did a few things to de-escalate it. She could have did a lot of things that could have de-escalated. But one thing that I'm gonna stand on is she was out of pocket. She reached around and smacked that man in the face once another man came in and got in between them. But I always focus on what took them so long to get over there to help the lady out. Like, they saw that they were having an altercation. Ain't nobody want to say calm down, calm down. But as soon as she smacked them, then everybody wanted to run up. I'm like, okay, now that y'all feel like she might get hurt, now we got an issue. But like, people need to learn how to have conflict resolution. She was out of pocket though. Like, for she don't even understand, and most people need to understand this. Those airlines, they overbook their flights on purpose because some people might not show up. So if you didn't have a seat, they would have gave you an accommodation and got you on another flight, or they probably could have got somebody off and got you on. But to come out there with a fucking attitude and shit, that ain't the way you get shit resolved if you got an issue.
Absolutely. But that is the issue that we all have as a society, where we run to yelling and screaming and this and that and this, and it escalates. And yeah, a lot of people say, well, he should have known better. He was the supervisor. He should have walked away. We always talk about what he should have done. Let's go ahead and flip the script, y'all. Let's talk about what she could have done. Is it because he's a man and he's bigger than her and twice her, well, not really twice her size, because she has some size on her too? Why is it that we concentrate on what the man could have done? Because at the end of the day, that man is a human and he has emotions. And I guess this is where I come in and I start giving you guys information about defining what domestic violence is, what assault is. We always talk about it when it comes to the woman, and it should be talked about. Shit, I'm a woman. But we also need to talk about it when it comes to the men. Because ladies, at the end of the day, hold on, y'all got to see me when I say this, okay? Because at the end of the day, there's more women than men. And if we keep deleting our men, exterminating them, or whatever you want to use or say or diverse to or whatever, we get rid of them, who's going to turn around and protect us? So let's not look at the trees. Let's look at the whole forest. So with that being said, I am going to give you the definition of assault. When you make a physical attack and act criminal or tortious that threatens physical harm to a person, whether or not actual harm is done. Listen to this, guys. If you push, grab, or spit, if you push, she pushed him, she slapped him, she said homophobic slurs, she said racial slurs. Yeah, if he would have walked away, and what if she would have chased him down? So again, if you push, grab, or spit at someone, this is considered assault by beating. Because of this, even a minor injury can be viewed as common assault. And we are constantly assaulting our men. And they are there's not enough repercussions or consequences that are being taken apart because they're a woman. That's not cool. Jay, you have anything to say? I gotta look for this video again, so give me a minute. Hold it down for me. I gotta show you.
All right, she about to look for that video. Yeah, we need to have like similar respect. Grace has got me all the way off screen. I'll stay off screen, but we have to hold people accountable for their actions, and especially if we're living in a society that says that men and women are equal, we have to come to the table and be like, okay, well, if it's wrong for him to put his hands on her, it's also wrong for her to put her hands on him. But we live in a fairy tale, man. We're trying to socially engineer something. That's why I've been asking this. I've been making this statement to see if people agree or disagree. It basically goes that a man's weakness is the facade of his strength, and a woman's strength is the facade of her weakness. And a lot of people don't understand it. But basically, the appearance, the man's weakness is basically the appearance that he's strong. like the perception that he is strong. So a strong person doesn't get the luxuries of people actually having as much compassion for them. And the strength of a lot of women is that the fact that they're perceived to be weak. So people give them more compassion. And we got to get away from that if we're going to say men and women are equal. We have to, because that situation right there, it should have never escalated to that point. But as people acting out of their place, she thinking that she can just say whatever she wants because she knows that men are going to protect her, which actually happened. And then on his side, man, he's kind of in a lose-lose situation at all. He a bitch if he walk away. He a punk bitch if he walk away. And if he do something to her, he a fuck nigga too. So either way. But let's see. I'm gonna read some of your comments. Almond said she should have known better. It's Spirit, not American. All right. Yeah, Spirit is like the worst one. Didn't somebody just buy Spirit? Can't remember. I think some other airline bought Spirit.
JetBlue.
And then JetBlue bought them. Okay. And then House said, can he jump in? House is not up to me. It's up to the host. And then he also said, I want to roast this type of diabetes wild beast release on the public by Spirit Airlines Bitter Spirit. Well, how you looking over there, Grace?
Between a
just
now
about
suspended
to-
Spirit Airlines supervisor and a
Hold on.
You got a
traveler
full screen and you got to pause it.
on the ground
Okay.
shortly after she yelled a series of homophobic slurs.
Pause. Okay, I got it. Just okay. There we go. So I'm gonna play it again. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hear it. I mean, do I have to turn my YouTube off?
Yeah, Grace, you shouldn't have it on, period.
I know, but I did it for thing, and then I'm supposed to turn it off.
Well, just turn your volume all the way down on it. As long as your volume's all the way down,
Yeah, I
you won't
did.
get an echo.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
So
I don't know about you hearing it. You might need headphones in.
Slurs
But,
at him,
hear
shoved
it?
him, and hit him
Yeah, I can hear
inside DFW International
Look,
Airport.
you guys
on
can hear it. That's all
Thursday.
that
I'm
matters.
at
Let
Panda
me do the
Express and we
link.
just hear yelling, and I drop my food, I run over, and my instinct is just to pull out the camera and start recording.
Professional photographer Thomas Shannon is the person behind the camera, who is unsure at this point what sparked the argument.
How do we get here? Why do people think this is okay?
According to a DFW police incident report released Friday, the female passenger from Fort Worth became angry during the boarding process. The Spirit employee told airport police the woman got off the plane complaining there wasn't a seat for her. He says he asked the woman to get in line with the gate agent, but witnesses say the woman cut in front of others and became uncooperative. It escalated further when police say the supervisor tried to take her boarding pass.
You're in my personal space.
Another passenger tried to separate the two. The woman is seen reaching around a few times, hitting the employee in the face. That's when he rushed her. They both fell to the ground. Police say she fell while attempting to run after hitting him, tripping over a chair.
Did you? I have to say something. Did you notice that when there was somebody in between her, that's when she went ahead and slapped the shit out of him? That's
Yeah.
not okay, ladies. That's not okay. That's assault. And y'all think because you're a woman, he's not supposed to do this. Are you ready for some football?
Once they got up, the employee puts his hands on the woman.
Don't you ever put your hands on me.
She, was verbally assaulting him, physically assaulting him, and he just snaps.
The woman told police she didn't do anything, and the employee pushed her for no reason before the cameras rolled. Police spoke with both of them after the incident. There was no security present. The officer who filled out the report suggested the woman's injuries came from the moment she fell over the chair. In the initial report, police determined the traveler was the aggressor and may have committed assault.
Out of the 10 years that I've been traveling professionally, I've never seen that.
We reached out to both parties involved, the employee.
Okay. So I know a lot of people saw this a lot of different ways, and it's not cool, ladies. because there's going to become a point where y'all going to be waking up with sleeping beasts. They're tired. They're sick and tired. I'm going to talk to you about this because it's not talked to a lot about because they're embarrassed to talk about it. They're men. They're supposed to not show emotions. They're supposed to be composed. Oh, he acted as a feminine trait, or he must have been raised by a single mother, or that's too emotional. At the end of the fucking day, excuse my language, he is a human being.
Keep
And
talking
a
dirty.
person can only take so much. How many times does a person have to walk away? How many times is the customer always right when they act like fucking this? Yeah. An article in Psychology Today posted July 26, 2020 by Wendy Prater, PhD. She talked about how it's starting to be recognized as a worldwide problem. They even have a name for it. It's called Intimate Partner Violence, IPV. It doesn't have to be, like a relate. It's noted that the research exploring cases with female perpetrators and male victims. It's not just relationship. It's just this situation. In reality, many male domestic violence victims suffer in silence. They don't say nothing. And if they don't say nothing, we don't know about it. We don't know about it. We don't know to fix it. Houston, we have a problem. Despite men often being much bigger, physically stronger than their partner, or in this situation, customer, many consistently fail to report being physically abused. Jay, why do you think that? Why, besides what I said, why do you think they don't say nothing? House?
Let me tell you something. This wildebeest bitch was running around the airport trying to get a meal. She was hungry. Do you hear me? She was hungry. Okay? Her wildebeest feast hour had not arrived, so she decided to take it out on him. Now, he did what every man should do. He gave her the energy she deserved. And all of those weak men in the airport who finally decided to think back when they were 8 years old and their mom taught them, you never hit a girl. Those men are weak because they stood there and watched him get berated. They stood there and watched him get hit. They stood there and they thought that's a female. No, they're cowards. He should have knocked them the fuck out. They're all cowards. I joke, but this shit is unnecessary in America. In America, we have told men you have to disarm yourself when it comes to women who are unwomanly. Fuck that. Make them visit a fucking dentist. No, I'm serious. I'm all about the dental plan being 20 years long. Make sure they're in dentist waiting rooms for a quarter of their life. I wish I was at that airport. I would have helped that nigga jump that bitch and gladly.
I would have jumped at the chick. I would have stopped. I said, yo, mama, come on. You see that man 2-3 times bigger than you. He gonna bitch slap your ass into next week.
Nah, she need to get curb stomped. And listen, this shit only happens when there's white people around, in my opinion. If there's a bunch of black folks around, they're just gonna go, you're gonna get your ass kicked if you don't stop doing that. Because I've seen it in the hood where girls think that this female energy is gonna protect them. Niggas in the hood have had enough. They don't protect you. They go.
It's not just in the hood house. Men in general have had enough. And
men who are around white people, especially black men who are around white people, think they have to uphold this written code of.
Well, they don't want to go to jail.
Because they're fucking cowards.
Because the black man is going to get locked up right away.
Nah, fuck that. They're stupid. I saw that video, it made my blood boil. All right? And that man, you could tell he was going through something because he had it. I never seen a dude that age that size done a football tackle. He didn't play football since high school. He did a football tackle. He said, I'm done with this shit. I've had it. He had the anger of somebody with 3 mortgages. He was angry. But yeah, no.
Let me read your comment. I want to roast this type of diabetes. Wilder Beast released on the public by Spirit Airlines. Bitter Spirit. Yeah, that's why JetBlue gonna take over. Okay,
JetBlue's gonna fuck it up. They're gonna make it worse.
I like some JetBlue.
No, they're gonna make it worse. You know what the hell's gonna happen? The spirit and bad energy of hood chicks taking Spirit is gonna rub off on JetBlue, and JetBlue's gonna be ruined forever. All them Atlanta
glass half full ass motherfucker.
I'm telling you, they're gonna ruin it.
Glass half full ass. Look, I will tell you this, House. One thing I do agree with you on majority of it is basically I can't even remember what the fuck I agree with you on, man. But regardless of that, man, look, the dude.
Anyway, I got the link up. If you guys want anybody,
let me ask you, Jay, do you think you
should... No. She got the link up, y'all, for anybody else that wants to join the panel. Go ahead, read the rest of the comments before I say what I got to say.
Tampa Supreme says she had it coming. I agree. You know, and then Aminai said him picking up the rope stand for me.
Click on it. Gotta click on it. Yeah, there we go.
Him picking up the rope stand for me. He was going to fuck her up all the way, and she deserved it. She gonna learn today. Y'all saw the title. Y'all gonna learn today to have a spirited conversation.
You know what he should have done? He should have taken that belt out and beat her the way her father should have beat her. He should have taken his belt off and beat her the way her dad should have beat her.
We watch YouTube. Hey, how you doing? What's up, Pop and Granny?
You got to click back on it.
Okay.
There you go.
LOL. He had the anger of someone with 3 mortgages, Papa. Oh, you read these. I heard you read these. Okay.
Nah, I ain't read it. Nah, I ain't read it. But yo, the one thing that I did want to agree with House on is, well, actually, it was kind of agreeing more towards you, because me and you actually, Grace, had a conversation about this the other day. And I was saying this shit, like, dudes are gonna have to go ahead and get ready to be locked up. Like anything that was achieved had to be fought for, and when you fought for it, it wasn't gonna be easy. Dudes need to stop. And we got to stop all these white knights out here, too. All these little sip-ass dudes that want to step in the way. They're going to have to get their ass whooped, too. But if you are in a position, I am not an advocate for people to go around here and just beat up people. But I am an advocate for anybody protecting themselves and defending themselves. Exactly. As soon as she slapped me, she would have got fucked up. You know, I'm sorry for anybody that said anything about that.
I look for the camera. As soon as something happens, as soon as she puts hands on me, I go, oh, there's a camera here. This is equal opportunity ass whooping.
Hey, but dudes are still gonna go to jail even with evidence.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get a lawyer.
No. I'm telling you. I said a lot of dudes are gonna have to fucking bite that bullet and go to jail for it. But I'm saying that camera don't matter. That camera don't fucking matter. It won't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like you still going to jail that
initial lockup, but it will.
Yeah. But think about that though, man. You could possibly lose your job. You're gonna end up having to pay money to bond out, so it's still gonna be an inconvenience. Dudes need to be ready for that.
It's worth it.
I'm advocating with the same shit you talking about. I just want to make sure dudes understand that there is gonna be a consequence to it, but it's the right thing to do, in my opinion.
In other words, what I think Jay's saying is that there's gonna have to be some sacrifices being made. So some of y'all gonna have to lose y'all job, go to jail, and go through it, just like Martin Luther King went through it, Malcolm X went through it.
Get a felony on your record.
Grace, you know what's ironic? A lot of men are becoming self-employed, so ain't nobody gonna fire them if they beat these women up. I'm sorry, they're self-employed. Who's gonna fire you for fucking decking a bitch? Like,
well, House, you know what we talking about, and calm your ass down. We basically saying, like, look, man, dudes do need to be able to defend themselves, and some dudes are gonna have to pay the cost for defending themselves. But we do agree. You got Almond Eyes up here. Oh no, she gone. Damn.
Yeah.
She just came up and then she's gone.
I mean, there's gonna have to be consequences. Women are gonna have to start going to jail. Women are gonna have, things are gonna have to turn around for things to turn around.
No, I don't think that's going to turn things around. I think what's going to do is...
And you got comments, too.
and here's my conspiracy theory level thinking here. I believe that things are not going to turn around when men exert violence, because the women will always know that the bigger violence that the government can dish out on those men. Does that make sense? So the men can dish out violence, but if the government is backstopping it and saying, well, she's still a woman, being a sexist in that way, the women will always feel that daddy government could rescue them, which is why you have to get politically involved and say, you put hands on me, you're getting the fuck knocked out. That's just a grand rule. Like, we don't respect that rule anymore, but the only way to get that rule respected again is through politics.
Yeah, but again, I mean, that should be a last resort. We're talking about it right now for a reason.
No, you're dealing with hyenas. The wild hyenas don't know last resort rules. They don't have a system of integrity.
I'm done, y'all.
No, I'm serious. This is the wild. This is part of the animal kingdom.
Let me read comments, house. Christopher, hi Christopher, how are you? Thank you for coming to the show and embracing the grace on the JBJ network. Dallas, we got a problem. Yeah, not just Dallas, Houston, Florida. And how you doing, Ant Dog? Salute to the panel. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in, checking me out, and the JBJ channel network. And we watch the YouTube, hey Ant Dog. And it says, wash hands, wash hands. And then, hey, Tampa Supreme. We watch you too. Hey, Grace. Hey, Pop, and Granny. And then Ant Dog said, we watch YouTube. Yeah, I'm messing up. And then Christopher said, we need more men to join my tribe. Slap a hole. I'm done. Hashtag slap a hole.
That reminds me of the show The Boondocks. It's like
I'm done. You see, I gotta get off camera because Jay. Hashtag slap a hole.
I'm here for it. And this might be my African bias, but I never see African women act this way because they know that an uncle, a brother, somebody will beat the shit out of them if they do that. Somebody will be like, you embarrassed the family. You getting your ass whooped. Shit, let my sister do some shit like that in public. Like, whew. That's the problem. The men in these women's families don't have no control over them. They're fucking wild hyenas.
There are no men in the family. Well, that's a whole nother show. So let me keep going. It was found that consistent pattern of violence, including progression of abuse, beginning with factors. This is how it starts off, and this is why women act the way that they do. Hi, Almin. Are you finally in?
I'm here. Hi, guys.
Okay. Hi, baby. It starts with jealousy, control, and social isolation. Okay? This is how the bad behavior starts. And then factors that intensify the violence include, housework, betrayal, child divorce, and financial issues. Maybe she's going through all that at home and her family and whatever, and she's projecting it.
Well, she should have been trying to travel, because that's the wrong thing to be trying to do. If you already pissed off, that wasn't a move. To be at the airport,
it's ridiculous.
And then
Especially spirit.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Most of the men stated that seeking help had a negative emotional impact, experienced gender stereotype treatment from professional and services, and that seeking the help led to a second feeling of victimization. So in other words, it made a bad situation worse, the men asking for help.
Well, okay, so in my opinion, I agree with all of that, but in the asking for help, you need to be asking for what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be asking for help on multiple levels, because you asking for help to, get out of the situation, but you're not asking for help to resolve the issues that got you in the situation in the first place. So there's no need, to be asking, okay, help me get me out this situation, and 5 years later you in it with another chick. You know what I'm saying? It just keep going and going and going. We need to look at why you keep finding yourself in these situations.
No,
Because if the shoe was on the other foot, that, you know what I'm saying, if it was a woman going in, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm being abused, I'm going through this mentally, you know, he doing this, he doing that. All
But
of
the thing is, they're not doing nothing to the women. They're not putting them in jail. They're not doing it.
They're not.
Almond,
They're
you don't
not.
get what she's saying. Almond, you're not getting it. Most of these times, and I've met men like this, they're not experiencing this with multiple women. It's usually one woman will, like, it's even things that people don't consider to be abuse. A woman will slap a man in the back of the head in a playful way, or it starts off with shit like that, but society will look at that as, oh, she's being playful. But in seriousness, she's testing your boundary. So it's not that.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying for some reason, because I have a friend who was in a male friend who was in an abusive relationship with his wife, and he was not processing that he was getting abused.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because it's embarrassing to the man.
Dude.
It's humiliating. And people are gonna laugh at him. They're gonna be like, how a man your size is getting abused by a woman? He gets
right, but now this was not the
ridiculed.
first female he had been involved with to abuse him. So that's why I'm saying, I need you to do some introspection to find out what's going on with you, that you keep hooking up with these chicks that's beating on you, like literally beating on you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what I'm trying to do is, let's get the limelight off the men. It's been on the men for too long. Let's look at the woman. Why the fuck are you acting that way? Why are you putting your hands on
this? Because
they
hyenas. We know why they acted the way they acted, because nobody's gonna check them. You can't fix the unruly child until you get the parent together. So in this situation, for me, the man is the parent. Like, again, like when he picked up that stand that was holding the rope, I was like, kill that bitch. I'm with you, sir. I would donate to get you out. Like, handle your business, sir. But like the old dude that got in the middle, he should have smacked the hell out of him, because dudes like that is part of the problem. You're not helping this situation, sir. All you're doing is telling her validating whatever she had in her mind. I can do whatever I want to this black man, because now if that had been Rob, you know what I'm saying, the white supervisor, it wouldn't have been all of that. Let's just be real.
Yeah. Hey, Almond,
click on the link, Alton. Almond, I get you, but why couldn't the man turn around and tell the woman to back the fuck up? Why do we?
Because he's been conditioned not to
the limelight off the men.
Right, but what I'm saying, you can't, like he's talking about, you know what I'm saying, men, you know what I'm saying, being in uncomfortable situations and getting locked up and all of that. They gotta change their mindset of, you know what I'm saying, we got to protect these drag bitches at any cost. And the old man was a prime example of that. He should have been like, you know what, that's y'all business. Beat the brakes off her. I'ma go so she can learn. I'ma go ahead. But you gotta,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But that mindset, Almond, mindset is more of a young man thing, where we go, we don't give a fuck, beat the shit out of her. She deserved that shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You gotta get these old dudes on board.
Old dudes are taught that classic bullshit lie that their mothers taught them this. Their mothers taught them this. They taught them this, that you never put your hands on a woman. You know what that implies? Even if it's deserved.
I get it. My family wasn't like that. They was like, you know what I'm saying? You got equal opportunity to get your ass beat. Equal opportunity.
That comes from a deep overcorrection of the media reporting on men abusing women. And what that did was, it took parents to teach their children that you do not put your hands on a woman. But what they did was they failed their sons while protecting their daughters. Because what they said is, a woman can beat on you, a woman can embarrass you in public, you don't put your hands on her. But we know that in nature,
He's supposed to just take it?
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's
let me finish.
That's why I'm like, hell no.
No, what they did was they corrected nature. They tried to civilize men. That was their viewpoint. That was their mindset by view of civilizing men. What they told young boys growing up, especially that old man when he was young, they taught him, you never put your hands on a woman. But what you're doing is you're removing the consequence. If somebody acts bad, smacks you in the face, does horrible shit, there's always that overwhelming violence that's in the air. So you don't act a certain way. You take that away from women, you get fucking wild hyenas. And it's coming back, because the young men, they don't give a fuck. Like, I'll see a bitch get into some shit in public, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck what's happening. I don't know her. I'm not risking my life for her. But the old cats, they
Right.
still
I'm sure people be looking at you like you crazy when you be like, fuck that.
Oh yeah. When one guy was like, "Why aren't you intervening?" When I saw something going down, and I was like, "I don't know her.
That ain't my business."
And he was shocked. He goes, "Wow, y'all kids are raised real bad these days." And I was like, "And
No,
you
we
were
ain't.
raised to sacrifice."
No, we ain't.
Guys, I'm going to jump in the comments. Take a breath. Darth Tiger said, Grace, heard you on the KS show. I said, yes, I was. God rest in peace to the Godfather. That's my dude.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're done, Grace, I have a question for you because you have a child. I want to ask you this.
Then my boy Alton said, I love, hold on, I got to do this right. Where it is? There it is. My boy Alton said, love you, boss. Thank you. I love you too. And then we watch YouTube. Can everybody come to the same chat room? I mean, just click on the link. Oh, and I guess I have other people in the. Is that possible, Jay? He's not there. Then Alton said, you need me to come up there. Well, come on. I sent you the link. I don't agree. What don't you agree on? Said I don't agree. Then I put the link up again. So that's where we're at now with the comments.
I think he disagrees with what me and Alman are saying. That you should, in fact, never believe the lie of you never put your hands on a woman. I know why that's being said, but that right there lies to men. It tells them, it programs them to believe that even if it's deserving, you don't put your hands on her. What they need to do is rewrite that to say you don't put your hands on a woman when she doesn't deserve it. If she puts her hands on you, you put hands back on.
And then we tell the women, don't put your hands on a man or anybody for that matter.
No, they don't tell women that. They don't tell women that. They be like, no, you beat his ass, girl. Beat his ass. Show him you ain't about to take no shit. Nah, the women be getting the opposite. They be getting try to go toe to toe. That's why I say you do need to start knocking these bitches out.
No. I mean, they are. I've seen it in these parts of the where I'll be moving. I see it. These motherfuckers are not playing. And these guys are 22, 23 years old. They are not playing.
So it also showed that men do not seek help because what is described as a sociological obstacle against men and the lack of support. They have obstacles. They can't even go for help. They can't even go to a police station without them being denied, or they have fear, shame, embarrassment, and stigmatization. The biggest obstacle that men encountered was that they did not receive equal treatment as a service target.
Nope.
There's no justice. There's no consequence. Click on the link.
Grace, this is one of the reasons why I tell men, don't cohabitate with a woman unless you're planning on marrying her. Because cohabitating with a woman doesn't just put you in financial risk. It could take your freedom away from you because there's something called the violence. There's something called the Violence Against Women Act and the Domestic Violence. I forget what it's called, but they use this definition of violence where only the man's the perpetrator. So a woman could do heinous things to you, and when the police arrive, they're obligated to make an arrest, and it's usually the male, even if he's the victim. I've heard.
Well, not always, but somebody's gonna. At least in the state of Florida, where I live, somebody's gonna go get arrested.
And the vast majority of the time, it's the man.
Yes, and that is where we can start.
Yeah, it's the legal definitions of domestic violence. It's the legal.
Hold on. Since you're saying that, I have the definition. Hey. Hold on. I have the definition. Defining domestic violence. A battered spouse or cohabitant is defined as an individual subjected to physical violence by a husband, wife, or cohabiter. So y'all live together, somebody going to jail. Most of the time is the men. And this is where we can start making the change. If you can get, you have to, and the police agencies are being taught about this and are being addressed about this. It's starting to get out there, but it needs to get out there at a much faster pace, and we need to embrace this. We have to protect our men, because if we don't have men around, they're not going to protect us. And at the end of the day, we need the protection of a man, no matter how independent you think you are, or how strong, and you're a survivor. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I don't want to override that there are not female victims in domestic violence. There are, but there's a difference between how we talk about men being the perpetrator. We talk about it openly. We say those men deserve what comes to them. They should be punished under the law, but we don't incentivize it. But when the woman is the perpetrator, society incentivizes it because they make excuses for it. They say she's got less weight, she's got less muscle. They say she's less faster. They say things like she's a woman, so she can't hurt you as much. Those are all excuses to incentivize.
Man just said less faster.
Yeah, they're trying to say that she's doesn't have
slower.
Yeah, those are all excuses for incentivizing violence against men from women, because they could always jump to that excuse. Oh, I'm just a tiny 100-pound girl. And they're like, but you're using the state violence to restrict me from responding.
It goes back. Did you hear that saying, that metaphor that I've been trying to use around here a lot? I keep saying it. Did you hear that one earlier?
No, I didn't hear it.
Well, tell me if you agree or disagree. A man's weakness is a facade of his strength. A woman's strength is a facade of her weakness.
I can agree with that. Yeah. It makes sense, but
we view women as the weaker vessel, so women get the ability to hide inside of that.
Yeah, and you know why we do that? We do that because
we're
stories
stupid.
that we're told about. No, we're propagandized to at a young age. Everything we watch depicts women as these docile, weak, but in reality, that's not what they are.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
That's why we need to change the laws, like you were talking about.
Not just the
Guys, I got another video for you. Hold that thought.
Keep on working. You got it up there?
Yep.
Hey, Alton was asking how does he come up. She put the link in the chat.
Yes,
so
I did.
Just click on the link and it'll bring you into the backstage. So yeah, that's how that worked for you.
It's also what we watch and what we consume that tells us.
It plays a part into it too. Yeah, constant brainwashing. All right, hit that full screen, Grace.
Can you hear it?
On the YouTube, yeah, we can hear it, but hit full screen on YouTube.
What is this?
And after that chaos in the cabin here, a flight out of Miami.
Now rewind the video back, Grace. Take it to the very beginning.
Yes, sir.
These airlines in America.
There you go.
Man, I don't have
This was just a coincidence.
And after that chaos in the cabin here, a flight out of Miami International Airport delayed after a woman suddenly
guys hear
goes
it?
berserk. The couple got kicked off that American
Yeah,
Airlines
Grace.
flight for Los Angeles.
And
Well,
that's
it's a
where we
short
find Local
one,
10 News reporter Janine
but,
Stanwood to show us what happened next.
Hold on.
So we have covered all.
So you see what? That's a husband and wife. They're
It ain't on
arguing.
screen no more.
They're arguing. Let me put myself on camera. They're arguing because he caught him looking at women on Instagram.
Okay.
And that happened. She threw a laptop at him. I mean, so this is okay in an airplane. She hit
No,
the
ma'am.
stewardess and another passenger. So now your anger is bleeding over to other people now.
Put her wildebeest ass on the no-flight list and make her walk everywhere.
Hold on, I gotta read this. We watch YouTube say, hold up. Some of us women are docile and weak. Please remember to take care of the old women when you plan all this stuff.
Can I respond to that? Let me respond to that. Can I respond to that? Sadly, women who are docile and weak, what has happened is that they are getting more and more pushed out of being that, because they're being told that you have to be more man-like. So the men are not going to protect women if they see, like the majority of women, acting like aggressive men. They're not going to do it because they can't differentiate who's the masculine wannabe show off. Like, these women are trying to prove their manhood to men by being aggressive. So the men are not going to see the docile women because they go, okay, give her 5 minutes. She might try to prove her manhood to me by getting in my face. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I want to welcome Coach Alton to the panel. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. He is a personal friend of mine, and he's my coach for my credit repair business that I run. So if you guys ever need your credit repair, you can always come to Embrace the Grace or Coach Alton. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Man, I am doing amazing. But I just want to start off and say I am so proud of you from the bottom of my heart, because I know where you came from. And just watching you now, it brings like so much joy to my heart.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it means when you have people support and when people believe in you. And now they're a part of that journey with you. Just like me having the privilege of being on the JVJ network. You know, he has given me this opportunity. So I'm going to give you your flowers too, Jay, because I don't give flowers at funerals. Fuck that. I drink. So I'll be drinking always. But anyway, Coach, so what do you say you disagree on? What do you disagree on?
The simple fact that, I was hearing a lot, and there's a lot of things that it was going back and forth in my head that I didn't agree. Simple fact that a man putting his hand back on a woman, you got to understand, we way much stronger than a woman. And if we, pinch a woman, a thump a woman, it's going to show.
That's the point.
So,
Fuck her up. You want to do it again?
Not only that, the society, the police, and the government is ready to put us in jail for any goddamn thing.
We just had that conversation.
Anything. So they want to take us away out of the home as men, because
we already out the home as men.
Exactly.
Y'all already out.
Why is we out?
Alton, that's why I'm trying to teach the women.
How beat on you gonna get you back in?
Huh?
How is letting this behavior continue gonna get you back in the house? That's black man.
Look, it don't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, or Cuban. If you hit a woman, it's not right. So if somebody hits your daughter and it's a man, you ain't gonna go for that. And you ain't gonna say, "Oh yeah, she deserve it." If she hit you, yeah, she deserve it. Fuck no, she don't. Don't put your hand on my daughter.
So your daughter can beat on a man and not get punched?
Huh?
So your daughter can beat on a man and not get punched?
I'm not raising my daughter to put her hands on a woman.
Exactly. That's the point.
So no matter what.
The only way to prevent a woman from getting knocked the fuck out is by the parents in her life teaching her not to mess with people who are stronger than her. That's how they taught me not to fight men who are stronger than me.
Well, you better pick up a damn stick and swing.
Exactly. So don't pick fights you can't win.
But you got to understand, women these days, they feel like they is untouchable.
And that's what I'm trying to change, Alton. We need to turn around and talk to the women, and they need to change their behavior. We've been pointing at men for too long.
It's that
behavior needs to be addressed.
You're right, but it's too much. Women that always say, "I'm independent." That independent shit that makes them feel like they strong and above for everybody.
Okay, so
they're not really independent.
They're going to get treated like a man. Equal.
Thank you. You jump up. You feeling froggy? I'm gonna throw your ass in the river. Point blank. That's
know
what
your place. It's God, man, woman, and children.
All that. Equal opportunity.
I mean, I understand what Alton is saying. I really do.
I get it. That's why I teach my son. It's my responsibility to make sure that he does not get to the point where he has to act the way that Spirit Airlines supervisor found it fit to resolve that issue. Maybe he was tired of customers doing that shit to him for years. Called him whore, faggot, on the N-word, all of that.
Yep, absolutely.
How many times is he supposed to walk away? How many times is it supposed to be okay? How many times is Spirit going to say, "Oh, you got to eat that"?
Yeah, so they
No,
don't pay like
you
that.
don't
They
want
don't
to
pay me
eat
enough
that.
for that.
Alton, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Which generation would you say you're from? And when were you a kid when your parents were teaching you about, this kind
So
of stuff?
I was born in 1984.
Okay. 1984. That puts you what? What generation is that? Millennial?
Generation
No,
X.
you younger than me. Wait a minute.
I'm 38.
38. Okay, so that makes you a millennial, I think. That makes you a millennial. So we're kind of the same. But I think there's a real disconnect. There's a difference between
Beat a bitch ass.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm in a generation with young men who are so fed up that the men don't even see, like back in the day, you'll see men intervene to protect the woman, but you're seeing less and less of that because the women are getting themselves into dangerous situations.
Right.
From examples, I'll give you an example. We hear of instances of a woman getting flown out and a video goes viral because the guy is like making a video of her. That's a dangerous situation. That means the men in her life warned her, like, don't go to another state with random men. You could get killed. She didn't listen. Or a girl will dress a certain way to attract negative attention, putting her man at risk. Like, yo, I have to defend you. Why are you putting my life on the line for your 5 minutes of attention? This is
because them some goof ass simps. That's why.
What I'm trying to say is that the women are an explosive that's ready to go out. They're a hand grenade now. They're not well put together. They're not told in a way to behave properly in public. They're not raised with parents.
They're being raised to believe that the way they are behaving is proper behavior.
They just need to be more consequences for bad behavior.
They getting coached on this is what you do to win. So that's what they out here doing.
But these days, let's be honest, social media raising these goddamn kids and everybody. So it's not like when we was growing up, we had our grandparents. We know at 12, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they looking at a world's turn and whatever. Now,
Young and restless.
That too.
All my children.
That too. So
beautiful.
Understand.
When we go to grandma's house, we know what we watching. But now these kids on social media, looking at everybody living it up, faking their life. So it's like they want to do that too.
They lost
that's so mama and grandmama can be doing what they want to do, and they ain't got to be responsible for no kid.
Yeah, but the grandma's in the clubs with the daughters.
That's what I'm saying. So of course they're gonna give you TV and cell phone and all of that.
That's why I don't go to
occupied, so you don't notice that they ain't there.
I just was having a conversation with someone yesterday. I said, "Damn, I missed phone booths when we had to walk to the gas station and talk on the phone."
Oh, I remember.
No, I ain't never do that.
I was born in '94.
You get a page on the beeper.
Yeah.
Like
my beeper was live now. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah.
Like the kids don't know nothing about those days, so it's like they got so much access to look at so much negative shit, and they feel like they have the right to do so much.
Yeah.
The like women, when they see like, oh, I'm stronger, I can hit a man. Fuck that. He gonna respect me. But what about you respecting him?
And what about you respecting yourself to know that's gonna hurt?
Yeah, you've embraced it. That's my point. You have a daughter, Alton. You're training her right. You're raising her right. But what about the girl that she's hanging out with, going to out of town, and her friend act like that? What happens now?
That's another. You got to raise your daughters on who to surround themselves, who to surround themselves around.
My dad used to say, "Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are."
Exactly.
There it is.
I used to hate when he told me that because I had all different types of friends.
Yeah, my mother would not let me hang out with anybody whose parents she never met.
Exactly.
And she beat my ass if I hung out with them and she never met their parents.
And that's how I am now with my business, because I'm like, anybody who I recruit or anybody I want to help out, they gotta have the same mindset as me. Got to, because I'm not chasing nobody. We gonna make money together. We gonna do this together, and I'm not chasing no one to make money if they not willing to do it.
Yeah. Can I tell y'all a short story? When I was in college, this was 2019. This girl started going wild in the classroom, and she started hitting this guy with a textbook, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Why does she keep doing this shit? Like she's always acting up and no one's checking her. So I finally speak up and I say, sit your fat ass down. And and you know what happens to me? They send me to the dean's office. And I make a case and I say,
yeah, they was mad with you.
No, I make a case and I say she's acting wild. She's threatening people. She's, saying the N-word to a suburban white lady, like constantly. And you could tell she's uncomfortable with it. So I say something, but the university refuses to take action. You know why I found out they won't take action? Because the university had been sued the year before because a girl had reported that they were being sexually discriminatory against her. And because of that lawsuit, the university did not want to do anything to, build a pattern case. So in my opinion, I'm like, are these universities allowing these bad behaviors to continue because they're protecting their pockets? Which opens them up to an even bigger lawsuit from the men, because it's ridiculous. I mean, shit like that happened all everywhere.
That's why Spirit Airlines told him, you're going to have to eat it. We're not going to get sued. Now she didn't already retain the lawyer, and now she's going to talk about she's suing Spirit Airlines.
He need to sue Spirit's ass too.
Suspended from work. He's suspended from work, but at the same time, you're allowed to say homophobic slurs. You're allowed to call him the N-word. You're allowed to push him. You're allowed to touch him. You're allowed to slap the shit out of him. But he's the one that's being suspended from work.
Right. That's why he needs to sue Spirit.
And he needs to sue her.
The most dangerous man in this society is a man who's self-employed and doesn't give a fuck about putting hands back on. Because I know those type of men, and they're like, what are you going to do, cancel me? I'm my own employer. That's the attitude that they have. And people will get there. And I think that's why a lot of these angry men you see online are just, they're having their ego crushed because they're being told by society, don't respond, swallow your pride. And constantly they're being disparaged by feminists. They're being disparaged in the workplace, in the school place, at home, constantly consuming things that are anti-male. So when they finally just get angry, they do something that's like out of their control. It's fucking wild.
And that's why I want to say that we need to change our behavior as women. I'm a woman. I had to sit the fuck down. I had to learn to shut the fuck up. I had to learn to not, my dad raised me and he always said, oh, it's a reaction to an action. I wish he was alive so I can sit down and teach him that I've learned that sometimes no reaction is a reaction.
It's the best reaction.
No, not always and not in every situation.
But I'm just saying sometimes it can be.
I have learned to pick and choose my battles. If I was at that airport, I would have jumped in the female's face. And I would have like, yo, mommy, you want to back up? That motherfucker's going to slap the shit out of you and I'm stepping out the way. But no, everybody wants to focus on the man, and that's the problem. We're always focusing on the man for everything. What about the fucking woman? What about her bad behavior?
Grace, here's what you tell men that don't want to go as far as I want to go. You tell them you develop a relationship with a woman that will always throw hands, and you call her to jump this bitch. Because if you put hands on her, society's going to put you in jail and ruin your life. But if you put hands on her, she gonna get her ass whooped and she gonna walk with a limp when it rains.
And I'm not advocating violence, guys. I'm really not.
I am. Sometimes motherfucker needs to know.
She said I am.
But sometimes that's the only thing. That's the only thing these hood rats and hyenas understand. They don't understand conversation.
Because that's
they understand Stomp Johnson. That's what they understand. So you have to meet people where they are.
Sometimes violence is good. Sometimes.
Right. I would have had to think twice. I mean, I wouldn't have touched her. I would have had to let her hit me first. See,
I wouldn't have done nothing but trip that old man to get his ass out the way. That's the only involvement I would have had in that whole situation. I would have tripped him to get him out the way and see what she would have done then.
I would have tried to talk to her.
She wasn't gonna listen.
She sure was. She was too mad.
What was the
And what
fight
happened
about
to her
anyway?
shoes? Did she ever have any shoes on?
I don't know, but he tackled the shit out of her. I'm like,
But she didn't have no shoes on before that. I was like, wait a minute, that's probably why she fell. But yeah,
She probably already took them off because she knew what she was about to do.
You know, see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't talk to them type of folk. You got to meet them with action.
we watch YouTube. Said, oh my God, General Hospital in Oakbrook, and then
Yes, 3 and 4 o'clock. They know what it is. 3 and 4 o'clock.
Christopher said, always follow the money. Yeah, that too. It's always follow the money trail. Like Jay said, they overbook flights. They purposely do that, and that's wrong on Spirit, because we could easily say that's what advocated this whole thing. But you know what? Flying right now, it's like playing Russian roulette. Your flight get canceled. You don't know if you're gonna get there. You don't know if you're gonna come home on time. There's a lot of moving. No, there's too much going on in the travel industry right now that's not stable, and that's why I haven't really traveled, because I don't want to go through that stress. I don't want to make plans on my vacation and then it's ruined because the pilots, had to go back to the hotel and they worked too long, or the plane is dead. No, bro. They're not doing a good job of staffing right now. No airline.
No, but that's because they don't want to pay.
Not only do they don't want to pay, they just don't have the people with COVID.
But that's what I'm saying. They ain't got, because the people ain't going through, because I wouldn't be going through that drama for no $7 an hour. You ain't gonna be yelling and screaming and cussing and carrying on, because you will get dealt with.
You know what they did during COVID? The government told them, we'll give you money if you maintain your employees. You know what they did? They found a loophole. They said, okay,
to get around it. Yep.
They told them to retire. They pressured them to retire.
Pilots retiring.
They did.
And then when the flight demand came back, less employees. Man, this country is hella corrupt. The people,
ain't it though? Because I was traveling good during with the 2020. I was traveling good. I'm sorry, but that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah, but now it's
yeah, man. I'm struggling now, but yeah, 2020, I was getting it in.
Yeah. I mean, I drive, so I don't need to be flying. I mean,
the really sad thing is that men minimize the abuse and they attempt to avoid the social stigmas regarding their inability to protect themselves, and often end up concealing or denying the abuse.
Yep.
It's like they damned if they do and they damned if they don't. They can't tell nobody because they're going to laugh at them or not help them. They have to take the abuse, but then there's no repercussion or circumstances felt on the abuser just because you're a female.
So let me touch on that, right? You know, I'm a president of a nonprofit organization called ICU, and this nonprofit organization, we help men to be better fathers. We teach them how to cope with their emotions. And one day we had an event where 5 men just went on stage, and it was like 20 women sitting down, and they were just sharing their emotions and how they feel, how women speak down on them and say they ain't shit, they don't do right. You know, it's like emotional abuse. And it was like every woman that was there was crying because they don't know what we go through. They think because we man, we don't hurt or we don't go through nothing. And it's like,
and you know why, Alton? Because they've been raised in single family homes. There's no father in the house. So they never seen a man. They've never been around a man to have a relationship with a man, to know how to take care of a man. So they're just out there trying to make it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we got to live and learn. We got to better ours. That's why I love Kevin Samuels, because he told it like it was. God bless the Godfather.
Amen. Amen.
And Alton, there's also another myth tied to that. The myth that modern women or women of the last 20 years believe that men don't express emotions.
Why? When they're going to kick it
No,
back
let me explain.
against them
They
and use
believe
it
they-
against them.
No, they treat, in this modern society with feminism and all this other stuff, they treat men, because they're looking at emotions through their lens. They're not looking at it through the lens of men. They're looking at it as how a woman emotes. So they look at men as like broken girls. We don't emote like them, so there must be something wrong. But if you look at the biology of men, we don't prioritize emotion. We prioritize other things. There are ways that men show emotion that are, usually it's through frustration and anger. Because we're trying to problem solve, and when we can't problem solve, we usually like try to blow off steam, and that is an emotion. But they don't understand that. They want you to emote like a girl, so they treat you like a broken woman, and they say, "What's
Because
wrong?"
you've been raised by a broken woman.
Because everywhere you go, you are around women. In school, you are taught by women.
Yeah.
In high school, you're taught. The sad thing in this country, a boy sees a man after he leaves high school. That's how lack of masculine presence is in the education system. It's all women. Especially if it's a single family home, it's a mother, a sister, and then he goes off to school. All he sees is young college women in the classroom teaching him. And then when he gets, and maybe if he's lucky, he'll get a coach who's a masculine man. But that's less and less now, because when I was in college and when I was in high school, I used to see a variety of both men and women. My science teacher was a man. My math teacher was a man. My PE teacher was a man. But now it's because the industry and the pay of the education is so low, it's a lot of women. Yeah. So they think we don't emote like women. They think we're broken women. So they get frustrated and they hear bullshit they hear from the media, like, why don't these men express themselves? But they do. You're just not paying attention.
And also, you got to understand as well, when we was kids, little boys, every time we cry, what they say, stop crying like a bitch.
Exactly.
What are you crying for? So now, as we grow up, it's like, oh, I can't cry and show my emotions because that's going to make me a little weak.
Yeah.
And
that's funny that you say that, Alton, because when my kid used to cry, I'd be like, "Are you bleeding?" He was like, "No."
Yeah.
"Are you dying?" He was like, "No." I said, "Why are you crying?" He was like, "I don't know." I said, "Well, when you tell me why you're crying, then you can cry. But unless you know why you're crying, I don't want to hear you cry." You know, I would talk it out with him. You know, and like if he was playing ball, I wouldn't be the mom that, "Oh my God, Johnny, he fell on the court." Nah, let his coach get him. Let the man around him do, and then I would be the one once the game started, sneak behind the bench and be like, "You good?" You know what? We baby them too much.
There's also the male toxic element. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of men out here who were raised by these disgusting standards of what it means to be
a man.
A man, yeah. And they believe that you have to keep it all in. I say a man, if he doesn't trust a woman with his secrets, he needs to go to a therapist or men he trusts. And that's what I do. I go to a male therapist and I don't have to worry about being judged because I pay him to keep my secrets.
Amen to that.
And it's hard. And the thing is, it's hard as a man growing up. Like, it's hard for us. That's why when we're like, "Oh, you act like you don't care when I cry. You act like you don't know what to do." Yeah, because shit, I was taught not how to show emotion, so I don't know what to do. I don't know when to hold. I don't know when to hold you or when to tell you it's okay. Because when I used to
but that's problematic because my daddy don't operate like that. I'm gonna tell you what the hell going on, cry, find out what's wrong with you, get it in the gas. It just don't make him no dick. Whatever's going on, he gonna resolve the issue. So I mean, that's what I'm used to. And his dad died when he was like 7.
As a daughter, as a father, yeah, but like in a relationship,
he did the same thing for my mama.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, there's some men out there that get it, and there's a lot of men that don't get it because they're operating in the lens of, if my son cries around me, or if I cry like how my son cries, what would that say to the women I want to date? That's the lens that they're thinking. They're always trying to project an image to women. And that's
Well,
ridiculous.
y'all need to stop the image and get with the real.
Stop
Right.
projecting an image to women. And that's when you stop doing that, that's when women find you the most sexiest, because you're mysterious.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like when you give no fucks about them, so you're not jumping in to save them after they try to start a fight. They'll be like,
Because then
oh,
they
he
gonna
didn't,
start
he
shit
didn't
to see
risk
what
his
you
life
gonna
for
do.
me. He didn't risk his life for me, so he must be some. Yeah, they're fucking delusional.
Like when I was growing up, guys, me and my dad noticed that we couldn't talk to each other because we were very much alike and we would bump heads. So we decided that our form of communication would be writing letters to each other. And then we'll talk once we read the letters.
Okay.
You know, because my dad, when he was pissed and he wanted to put his foot down, hey, fuck them letters. They didn't work. You know, but he was giving me the opportunity to express myself respectfully. And that was through letters. The thing is, in our community, therapy is seen as taboo. And like God rest his soul, Godfather used to say is, we all need therapy. I'm not responsible.
We do. Yes.
He's not responsible for my trauma. I'm the one that has to go unpack my baggage and lighten the load for the person that I want to be with. It's
Right.
not
Well,
Can
my
I push back on
thing
that, Grace?
is,
I don't necessarily agree with that. Can I push back on that?
Go ahead.
The reason why I don't agree with that is because there is this push for therapy in every corner of society, and it is assuming that there are good therapists out there. They're not.
Black and white.
There's a shit ton of out of college useless therapists.
Sorry, yeah.
They're usually middle-aged women with PhDs who got their life all fucked up, who want to be therapists, and we're supposed to go to them? Fuck no.
Yeah.
I never choose a therapist on the basis of where they went to school, but there's a shit ton of therapists who became therapists because they have a degree. So I'm trying to like tell people, like,
But that's
this
where you do your
person-
homework and you interview people. You don't just jump into a therapist, because having a therapist is another form of a relationship.
No,
That is true.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but most people when they hear therapist, they think, oh, a licensed professional with, that's licensed by the state. You can find a sobriety partner even though you don't have any addiction problems. That could be a therapist.
I'll take that, but we have to do something, because obviously what we're doing is not working. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same shit over and over again and expecting a different result. So maybe we need to meditate. Maybe we need to find an outlet. Something has to
get out of America for like 4 weeks. Get out of America for like, that shit works for me. Get out of America for 4 weeks, and your whole perspective will be set, and you'll come back.
Folks ain't leaving. They doing good to grow across town. They can't leave America. But that's the problem in the Black community. My thing is, you can go to therapy. Everybody ain't got to know that's where you going. You ain't taking them with you. So why you got to tell everybody you going? So go ahead, go to therapy, handle your business, and come on back out.
I agree.
It ain't hard.
And don't do those online therapy bullshit. What are they called? Better
For real, yeah, because they ain't talk about nothing.
Christopher Rizzo said, actually, there is a shortage of therapists due to COVID. Folks stayed at home and noticed that life wasn't what they thought it was.
I just don't understand how being in your own house that you pay for around people that you have decided to be with is making you crazy. That don't make no sense to me. I've been in my house
you have to
since the
deal with
beginning of COVID. I ain't got no problems. I'm cool.
They don't like each other. They hate each other. It's usually the man who said.
We watch YouTube said, maybe we just need to have a come to God moment. We all had a come to God moment during COVID. Trust me, Grandma and Pop. A lot of perspectives changed and the way we saw life once COVID. I feel sometimes that was God's way of telling us to sit our asses
sit down somewhere. Yeah, but your people still act like they ain't want to understand. But yeah, that was your sit down. It's about to get real moment.
He took away everything we loved: sports, theater, movies, malls. Go spend time with your family. Go play some board games. Go organize that closet. Go clean out that refrigerator. Go do shit you say you don't have time for. Now you got all the time in the world.
Folks still ain't do it. Instead, they want to sit around and cry. Like, are you serious? You ain't
Go
have
learn
no
how
money
to
going on
cook.
anyway.
All that twerking is cute. Go learn how to cook, girl.
So they still don't know how to cook. You can't even go to McDonald's to get nothing to eat. So there's 15 cars at the drive-thru because they still don't know how to cook. I'm like, yeah, it's been 2 years. Y'all can't make you still can't put together no Kraft macaroni and cheese. This is pitiful.
That's crazy.
Pitiful. I'm like,
I feel like I have to keep repeating this. I don't condone violence. It is an option on the table. I'm wanting that to be the last option, but us as women, the gender, the race, the mindset, everything, we need to change how we treat our men.
Amen.
Because we do need them. All you independent feminists, I'm a survivor. I don't want no scrubs. At the end of the day, we need our men.
But what are they surviving? That's what I need to know. What they surviving? The hell is y'all surviving? You ain't been nowhere and done nothing. What are you surviving?
I'm done. You are so funny. Exactly, but that's what they be saying.
I just try to understand. I just ask questions for understanding because it's like every hood rat got the same story. They've been through so much and so. Like I'm like, where y'all been living? Because I mean, y'all cross town and I don't see none of this going on. Like it's like this is the same story passed from generation to generation. It ain't none of it true. So basically, it's the same lie. Because I'm like, you wasn't even alive for none of that. So how was you oppressed? What was your struggle? Everybody's struggling. Oh, okay. Okay.
That's all I'm trying to get people to embrace. That come on, man, we got to do better as a gender. Because I'm on the women with this bullshit. I'm talking shit to y'all right now. Jay, you still here with me?
No.
He sleep probably. But I'm just saying, guys, and then it's the sad part that men, we don't know a lot about this because men get ridiculed, men get laughed at. They don't have somewhere to go. Oh, my woman's beating on me. They're gonna look at him like he crazy. How's she beating on you and you 2 times her size? Because I can't do nothing about it. You guys are not helping me do nothing about it. So I'm just gonna take it. I can't leave because I got babies to take care of. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. Trust me, I know about the other side. I lived the other side. Been there, done that. That was my first and only physical abusive relationship, and I was real young at the time. I was 18. So I know about that side too. But at the same time, we need to stop it. We all need to do better. We all need to behave better. We need to have patience because I deal with customers all day. I tried to help a lady the other day. I'm stuck in the back chat. Oh shit, my bad. Oh, look at Pop. My bad, guys. I didn't even see it. Come on in. Go ahead and Pop, Grammy. What's up? How you doing? Thank you for coming to the show. Y'all there? House of Haas, you there?
Sorry, guys, we were muted, and we probably have just a little bit of a lag as well. But just thank you for letting us come up. We are enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see you guys in the back there.
No problem. What I'm wondering is, don't these girls have brothers? I mean, my brother and I. Now, when you're raised in a single-parent home and mom's at work, kids tend to fight, So my brother and I fought hard, and I remember when he got muscles and I figured out men were stronger than us, you know. And don't kids fight like that anymore still?
Nope, they're them same
Everybody
soft
knows
ass.
because they have
They're those same soft brothers that they talk into going out to defend their honor. They end up dead. Nope.
Yeah, you know what happens to those boys? I'm gonna break it down for you. They're usually raised in a single mother household, and the woman
So was
feminized.
my brother. He'll beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, but that's a different time. In this generation, the women feminize the boys. They make them braid their hair like a girl. They make them talk like a girl. You got boys twerking on Instagram trying to mimic what their sister or mother is doing. These are 5-year-old boys. There's no masculine energy around them. So for them, they're starting to impart the characteristics of, they're modeling what a woman does. And
because that's all they see.
Because in that age, the boys need to see men so they can model male behavior. But when they don't have male contact, not in school, not in the home, not until they get to college, they have been what I like to call kind of castrated in a way. They've been castrated in the mind. They haven't been physically castrated, but they've been castrated in the mind because they've turned off their masculine energy. And now their men are weaker because they're doing it to themselves with Pornhub. And I think you know what I'm trying to say. The overabundance of it has turned men into docile, weak, unassertive, and more calm energy type, like they're on some kind of drug. And some of them are, because the schools prescribe them ADHD medications.
They keep them in line.
Keep them in line, yeah. And it's so it's a whole factor of things. So the boys you grew up with, it's the last 20 to 30 years, things have changed.
And then I got hold on, let me go on some of these. House of Has said, I'm stuck in the back chat like fat women stuck in some leggings. Damn. Well, hold on, I gotta show you guys that one.
I don't remember typing that.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. Red Illusion, thank you for coming to the Embrace the Grace show. I really appreciate it. And he said, lack of rough and tumble play as children is what creates antisocial men and entitled women. I would agree, because I had a lot of male cousins, and I was the baby. I would get roughed up and stuff like that. And then Red Illusion came back and said again, we weren't even allowed to pick up snowballs at recess. Yup. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Okay,
So
I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. Just a minute. Y'all never, like, when we fought, and I lived in a neighborhood where there were all single moms. Everybody's mama went to work. We were all left alone. Lots of brother and sister sibling groups. And everybody knew if you were fighting whose house you could run to that would hide you. Y'all didn't do that? That's not how it's working still?
So I'll give you a timeline for me. I was born in 94. I came to the States when I was about 6 years old, 2004. Okay, so what I remember in that time is a little bit similar to what you grew up with, early 2000s. But I think there was a change at some point. They call it the rise of the helicopter parent, the overprotective parents. And it's been covered in the news multiple times. And that is reality. The overprotective parents who never let them play outside, who, let them embrace the internet. That's a problem.
It stunted their growth.
Yeah, it stunted their growth. So the men don't embrace being, like I said, they were castrated in the mind rather than physically castrated. You can observe it in the men that grew up in the pre-internet era and the men that grew up with the internet. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but I'm not saying it's all men. I just say it's a majority.
This is city stuff, right? Because I don't see any of that rurally. I'm trying still to wrap my head around. And I don't know what percentage are we talking about here? Or, I mean, is this like 100% you're thinking? Or
No. I'm talking about
80%?
majority. I'm talking about north of 65% of the boys growing up today are, I mean, especially in the Black community, there's a lot growing up in single mother households where they're not modeling men because they don't see men until they're late in their teens, probably early in their 20s.
Call them son husbands.
Okay, let me ask
Turn
you.
them into son husbands.
Of the people that are on this panel, how many of you, which ones of you are raised in a single parent home? Because I was anybody else? So single parent home boys find fatherly images from all different kinds of places. For my brother, it was John Wayne and anything Marine Corps or coaches. He would find that masculine energy, or an uncle, or some man at church, or some youth group. Or there are places where single parent boys have male influence that they gravitate to. They're not just completely left with absolutely no image of a man whatsoever.
It's not, we got to make sure they get images though.
Well, yeah,
I mean, you could be around raggedy men. That's still male energy.
Exactly. So, like in my case, even though our male image, our father, okay, my dad was in prison. So one of the things that I saw as a father was a man in shackles. I saw a man completely dominated by other men. Okay, so that image was something that my mother had to balance, how to give us good images of men and not leave us with that image. But there are ways to do that. My brother grew up fake. He's still married to the same wife. I've been married for 34 years. We ended up being able to establish homes that our children grew up with two parents. Both of us did. But it was because my mother did certain things to have those talks with us about what a man was. My brother was very manly. So I'm kind of confused because single parent motherhood is not the only thing.
It's not the same anymore. The single parent mothers you knew back in the day.
Yeah, that's not what's happening now.
That's not what's happening now. It's a whole breed of different type. Trust me, the only way for me to make you believe it is for you to be able to experiencing it the way people my generation are seeing it, because the women of today who are just there's a whole slew of factors that make it a perfect storm for them to fail their sons and empower their daughters in the negative.
Yeah, they just use them as a means to an end.
Yeah, and it sounds almost conspiratorial to even say it, but there is a serious change in society the last 20 to 30 years that have been designed to, emasculate from a young age. They even use things like toxic masculinity. They deliberately make schools the 100% female teacher population. And when I say to women that boys don't interact with men until they're in their late teens to early 20s, they really think I'm just pulling that out of my ass. They don't get it.
No, that's real.
That's hella real. Like, all you have to do is go to a local high school and observe what happens to these boys when they spend so much time with female teachers. The kids, they act up, and then what happens? The state comes in, usually a truant's officer or state police officer, and the kids get taken away. It seems conspiratorial to me, but it's the system does not embrace that. That's why you get weaker men who allow women to hit them, and they're more docile because they've been dominated from such a young age. And you may not understand it because you come from a different time, but I'm not blaming all single mothers. I'm telling you that the single mothers are different than what
Yeah,
you're
because
used
back in the days, Grandma, Grammy, and Pop, when you was a single mother, you also had your grandmother, you had your grandfather, you had uncles, you had a nucleus of a family.
Yep. But now it's no man for
you
like
got
4
the mother
generations.
and the grandmother hanging out at the club, and nobody. It's just it is. That's why they are lost in the sauce. So the single mothers from back then, Grammy,
Yep.
are not the same single mothers from today. And back then, most single mothers, they were single because either their husband died, or they were at war, or
Yeah, it was a reason. Versus you just got kids everywhere.
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, but like nowadays
it's a single mother than a wife.
Yeah. Cause like nowadays is, you know what I'm saying, your mama never got married, your aunties never got married, your grandmama never got married, your great grandmama. So it's been no man for like 3 or 4 generations. So there are no uncles to, you know what I'm saying, hang out
I mean,
with.
there can't be. A lot of these kids are results of single one-night stands.
Exactly.
That can't be situationships. Yeah, like so many kids in the last 20 years have been born under the what I call the Sex in the City lifestyle of one-night stands or college, orgies.
Hookup, yep.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think the remedy is for this? But I want to touch on one other thing while we're talking about responding and women and violence of women. There's 2 rules that I just wanted to go over, and one was an eye for an eye. Remember, when you're responding to someone, even if they do attack you or whatever, like that, if they take out your eye, you take out their eye. You don't burn down their whole house. It's an equal tit for tat kind of thing. So I just wanted to inject that, and then also I think that's a good rule to live by. It's something to be considered.
But a black man
there is. I'm sorry, what?
Grammy, a black man can't do that tooth eye for an eye, because you know what? They will quickly lock him. Look, the guy lost his job. She was the aggressor. It had been determined. Oh, I forgot to tell you that, guys. The police report says that it had been determined that she was the aggressor, and he still got suspended from his job.
Yeah.
They didn't arrest her.
And I.
But then wait a minute.
Right.
Like when in the beginning he tried to write it up like he assaulted her and that's how she got injured. But then when they started interviewing other people and they were like, no, it was her, and they went back and watched the video, then he went back and was like, yeah, she was the aggressor. But in the beginning he was gonna dump it all on the man.
But that's what I'm trying to. That is my purpose here today, Armin. Is to people need to embrace that. Stop looking at always at the man. Look at the woman. You know.
Yeah.
There's an echo. Does somebody have YouTube on? I didn't do anything different.
Me neither.
Let me read some of these comments. Red Illusion, I read that one. He said, the helicopter parent created the SJW. I don't know what that is, Red Illusion. And then he continued to write, hold on, let me click it. I was in middle school when they removed dodgeball from all schools. See, I remember playing dodgeball. That was fun. You purposely wanted to hit the person. My bad.
That was my favorite game. I was good at dodgeball. Okay, so what we're talking about is an imbalance of power. That woman knew when she threw that punch.
A massive imbalance.
That's a good way of saying it, Grammy.
So,
the imbalance of power.
And you know where else you see this imbalance,
So now-
Grammy? You see this
Yeah.
imbalance also in family court. You see this imbalance in
Child support court.
in child support
Mhm.
court. You see this imbalance in many other places because it's an extension of chivalry and it's an extension of the old school way of doing things, except the women are modern women and the men are expected to be traditional. And a lot of the
Yeah.
men are very angry with that because they're being held to old rules that don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's interesting that it's come to this, but there's some things that we need to stop giving power to, you know, and Pornhub might be a good thing to stop giving power to. If that's
Yes, it is. I call for
that's the
banning.
energy, that's the energy that's driving this, the Jezebel that's driving all of this, but also it sounds as if we need to restore our brothers. We need brothers.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
need big brothers.
Absolutely.
With muscles
And it starts with us
that
women.
know when to set their sisters down, because that's their role. If daddy ain't there, it's the role of the brother to look at his sister and say, I will kick your, and my brother did. If you put me in that situation one more time, I will. And he did. To
Well, you
hear
got to
me.
know it's wrong instead of being told this is what you're supposed to do because just go along with whatever because that's your sister. That's what they being told. So they got to realize it's wrong.
And you know what's the thing
Well-
men need to do in order to avoid single mother homes? The guys who have sisters need to be able to cuss their sisters out and say you're not going to go around having one night stands, because I will seriously have a problem with that if my sister did that shit, because I know what that leads to. That leads to this level of dysfunction we're experiencing, and no man in a modern American family has the balls to check the women and say, wait, you're doing what? You're embarrassing the family name because you're doing this? And you know what they call that? They call that toxic patriarchy. Well, it keeps you from burning yourself. So call it what it is.
Yep. Let me read these comments real quick. Red Illusion said, my dad was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alrighty. And then the People's Podcast. How you doing, boo? You could have been clicked on the link. The champ is here. Salute, sis. And then wait, did I click on it? There we go. And then click on this one. Red Illusion said Hammurabi had some points. At the end of the day, guys, my point here tonight is to try to get more women to embrace the concept that we need to go sit down somewhere.
Amen.
We need to stop putting hands on our men. You know, we need to act better in public. Don't get mad because that man tackled the shit out of that woman because she was giving masculine energy. She got masculine energy back. What's up, People's Podcast? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How y'all doing?
We good.
Good. Y'all, I want to dedicate this podcast to Jay's nipple pasties.
Oh my God.
Really though?
Really? Anyway, what you got to say about this, though?
What we talk about, the airport thing?
Yeah, and how women need to keep their hands to themselves.
I agree with that. My grandmother said, if a woman steps to you like a man, beat her ass like a man. And unfortunately, you got too many punk ass dudes out here today. She would have never tried that with me, I assure you. They know who to do it to. And it was funny on that video. The whole time she was hitting the dude and cussing him out, and she done called him 50 million ninjas. And as soon as he retaliated, all of these Captain Saberho dudes come out of the woodworks. I'm like, where did they come from? We didn't see them on the video the whole time.
Exactly. And then they came for the dude. Why didn't they come for her?
Well, because they were trained. That's Order 66, the cat, R.I.P. the Godfather. Order 66. They responded to their programming. But you got too many punk dudes out here.
Her life is in danger.
And unfortunately, there's no way to reverse it. You know, we kind of talked about this last night in the back chat with, me and Angry Snowman was talking about that last night. You know, I mean, it's just too many punks out here. And there's no way to reverse course. There's no therapy. There's the tipping. We're way past the tipping point. You know, y'all talk about single mothers. 80% of our children are made by them. We're well beyond the tipping point. So I think the younger generation is just saying, we're not dealing with it. You know, again, you look at the divergency rate with the millennials and under, that's 40%. They're saying, hey, we ain't dealing with it.
And then when somebody does deal with it, it's a problem. And it was determined that she was the aggressor in the police report, but the man still got suspended from his job.
Of course. We're in a gynocracy. They're gonna protect the structure. You know, just like the presidency isn't a man, the presidency is an institution. So same thing. The gynocracy isn't one woman; it's an institution, and they will protect it at all costs.
Well, they're only looking at the trees. They're not looking at the forest.
Well, that's why we got to burn that motherfucker down.
Because what I was saying, Israel, is that women outnumber men right now. And we are exterminating our men. So at the end of the day, who is going to protect us then?
Well, they don't care because they have insight. They don't have foresight. So they're not thinking that far, you know. They're only thinking right now in the moment, you know. What did my man call it? Sex in the City lifestyle, you know. That's a good way of putting it.
During the lockdown, when they had all these men at the grocery store trying to buy this and trying to buy that.
Fighting for toilet tissue and shit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Shout out to Papa.
So, absolutely. Grammy, you were saying
Papa was in there scrapping.
What were you saying, Grammy?
At least there wasn't a tattoo involved.
He can't let go of that tattoo.
Man, we've been talking about that tattoo for about 2 weeks now.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so one more thing that I want to add in here is two more points. First, we used to go to church every Sunday as a family and get to hear the moral laws, the basis for them, why we have them, and why they were important. And so we had a good moral structure. We don't get our morals all from the same place anymore. But one of the laws is a law that pertains to women and violence towards men. And it says basically that even if your husband is being attacked by another man and you're trying to rescue him, you do not have the right to grab that man by his balls. If you do, your hand can be cut off for that. So there is limits to a violent act that a woman can do against a man just for the sake of anger or even rescuing her husband. And yes, we do need to have, well, I'm talking about laws that should be written on our heart. These are moral laws, the laws of the kingdom of God, you know. So American laws are based on that. Obviously, we have some deficit in some laws that need to be written that limit the violence against men. But gee whiz, guys, these single moms seem to be feminizing these young men at a rate. However, we also have households that are just boys. There's no girls in the house, and when mom leaves, it's just boys. What's happening to those guys? Does anybody know?
They still being
Calling it feminine.
feminized.
They're
They
effeminate.
still being feminized.
They're son husbands.
Oh, well, that has always been a confusing message. Even my brother was told all the time that he was the man of the house, and that was always very confusing. But
Tell the boys that. But
Need to stop
mom got a switch on it. She can turn that switch on and off when it's convenient for her. He the man in the house when it suits her. But when she doesn't have a need for him to be the man of the house, just hit the switch and turn it off and shut him down.
see, it's just you don't, as a single mom, have that balance of the man, and what you're trying to do is to bring forth the male energy of protectiveness, and you know, you're trying to nurture that part, because a mother is a nurturer, you know, and then that goes haywire because you don't have the man there to balance that. But it's, yeah, where are all these single men? Where do y'all hide? I'd like to know. Y'all all have to be somewhere.
They're here, they're just not dealing with them. 54%.
Me, all like in apartment complexes? You take over
No,
trailer
they're-
parks? Is there like a commune somewhere full
everywhere.
of single men?
They're
Where do y'all
everywhere.
live?
They're everywhere. They just stay away from those women. 54% of black men are single and childless. 40% of millennials under 40 are virgins. They're there. They're still running a society and maintaining the society. They just choose to stay away from those types.
Okay.
And then the same men are having babies with the multiple women. It's not different men. And then they're not getting married. The family structure has deteriorated.
It's damn near non-existent.
And that's what I'm trying. And everybody's always trying to blame the men for shit. And what I'm trying to do here, Grammy and Pop Pop, is that I'm trying to change the mindset. We need to focus on the bad behavior of women. And men have been too silent in putting up with the shit. But now you have people like JVJ and Red Illusion, Israel, me. I'm an advocate for men because I grew up seeing a man taking care of his family, getting up every morning. I was taught to learn how to value and respect a man. And I had men around my life all my life. I had uncles, godfathers, cousins. And I was the baby of the family. So
You can't be using them Italian stereotypes.
I mean, there was always men around my house. I was always well protected, and that's why I appreciate men. They made sure I was good, so I got to make sure that they're good. I have a son. He gonna be dating these ratchet ass hyenas. I taught my son, you keep your keys and your phone in your pocket. You don't get too comfortable where you know what I'm saying? You can't get to your stuff, and then she called the police. And if you do take your shoes off, you put your phone and your keys in your shoes. You just stay focused. Stay focused for whatever.
You can't even do that because these hyenas will snatch your phone clean off y'all lap. Y'all remember that? What was that? The NFL draft where the guy had his phone on his lap and the girl picked it up and was all in it. Dead on camera. You got to watch these hyenas, honey. They will take your stuff right off you.
On my channel, I've been teaching boys to protect themselves at all time. So we need to teach these boys how to get their own things. So that way they're not going there. They have their own space and to protect their own space. Get some security cameras.
Never move in with a woman.
Put them security cameras up. They too, get a dash cam for your car. I mean, all of this technology is available. We got to teach these boys how to use it to protect themselves.
And we got to teach our girls to be wives versus single mothers. We got to teach them to be ladylike. You know, shit, I'm still learning how to tone it down. And
Instead
how
of
to be
being
more
fat
ladylike.
packers.
But it ain't easy.
Well, we like a little spice, you know. We like a little chili pepper, you know.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But you guys know that I stick to my time limit. I don't let it go 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. That's y'all crazy ass. Okay? So with that being said, I showed my 3 videos. I gave you guys a definition of what assault is. Remember, just a push, a touch, or spit gives you the means for self-defense. That don't mean it's always going to work out in your favor, but it is what it is.
Well, in some states like Virginia, it's even just a verbal thing.
Yeah.
Assault was considered verbally. We learned that from Amber Heard, you know.
Yeah. So with all them type of ninjas that lady called that man and homophobic slurs, she should have been arrested. But no, of course not. But he got suspended from his job. And now she has the audacity to retain an attorney to turn around and sue. Really?
She probably got him for free.
Probably. Absolutely. So with that being said, I don't know where JVJ's at. He probably went night-night. But Ahmed, do you have anything else to say or close with?
I'm good.
Okay. Pop and Grammy, you have anything to say? Close with?
Well, just wanted to say thank you for letting us come up and really enjoyed all your points. I think the guy needs to sue if he has a lawsuit. I think he needs to sue. Anything from you, Papa?
No, I'm good.
Said no, he's good. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Well, thank you for you guys coming up here and participating, because it's always good to hear your point of view, because you guys are OGs. We learned from you guys. You know, you guys did it right back then. You weren't perfect, but you did it better than what is being done right now. You know, and that's where we got to take from the people who were doing it right. And I know you was here a little bit late, Champ, but you came, and that's what matters. And I appreciate your support. Do you have anything else to say or close out with? No? You good?
If you're talking, you're on mute.
Okay, you're on mute. He's on mute. Okay, well, guys, I do appreciate you coming in here. I know that this is a little bit touchy situation, especially coming from a woman. But, you know, if that's what it's going to take, a woman to help change the mindset of women, then let it be. But I'm just trying to change the mindset for the betterment of our community and to take care of our men. So with that being said, I hope you guys embrace something out of this. Thank y'all for your support. And we out. Peace.